Hello and welcome everyone. It is Wednesday, August 15th, 2018. New comic book day, best day of the week. Like Christmas every week. Gotta love it. So yeah, I went into this week thinking it was going to be a nice light week, and wow, was I ever wrong. Yeah, it was a little more than I thought it was going to be, but boy, is there some more good stuff out this week. Before I get going, I want to thank all my subscribers. Really appreciate it. I am getting behind on the comments, and I apologize for that, but there's just so many of them now. It's taken me several hours just to try and get through them all, and I'm running out of time. But I will get back to you all eventually, but maybe a little bit longer than you're used to, and I apologize for that. But thank you so much, everybody. And just a quick note on the shoutouts for the shops. If you've given me your name of your shop once, that's good. I'm making a list, so I will get through them all eventually. I'm trying to do one every video, as I mentioned recently. So we'll get into this week's shout out. And this one is, it's another one in Texas. It's kind of strange, but one of my longtime subscribers, Comic Crypt Castle Hills, chat with him pretty regularly. He puts out some really cool videos. Got a great channel. He ran into some trouble a while back, and he had to sell a bunch of books, and the owner of the shop really helped him out in a really tough time and bought all the books, and it really helped him out. And the shop is Alien Worlds, and that is down in San Pedro Avenue in San Antonio, Texas. The owner of that is Jerry Kimball. I haven't had a chance to talk to him. I meant to call him today, but I got busy and didn't, but I'm going to try and call him tomorrow and just say hi. And so yeah, he's got a cool shop down there. Apparently I've seen pictures of it, and according to Comic Crypt Castle Hills, is a really good owner and a great shop. So I'm going to put a link to his his address and phone number in the comments below. So if you're in the area and you haven't been there before, give him a shout, or pop in and say hi, and you can tell him I said hi. I mean, he won't know who I am, but he'll probably know who Comic Crypt Castle Hills is, so you can say hi to him from him as well. So yeah, Jerry Kimball, Alien Worlds in San Antonio, Texas. Awesome. If I remember down there, I gotta start doing a tour of comic shops or something. That would be great. That'd be a lot of fun. So we'll get into some books here. I'm gonna show you some stuff that I didn't get last week, and so I'll run through that real quick. Superman #2. I showed cover A, but I didn't get the cover B and C, so I picked those up today. So I got the cover B and that really nice, I like the MAC covers. They're pretty cool. And I mentioned the paper in this. I thought it was a cheaper paper. I like the feel of it though, and somebody mentioned that it's actually more expensive paper. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I like that paper. It feels good in the hand. So anyways, I got a Fantastic Four, the 1 for 10 variant. Got a really good price on that today, so I grabbed that. And I got this one for $5, and I don't know if that's a 1 for 10 or limit. I got to look into that a little more. I think it's a limited one, but anyways. And one I'm really glad I picked up. I had this one in my hand last week. It's Riptide #1 from Red 5 Comics, who I really suggest you start looking at for books. So I'm getting my shop to order all the Red 5 Comics in for me. This one's, I had it in my hand, I put it back, and when I got home, I called my shop up right away. I said, hey, you still got that book? He said, oh, yeah. So he put him aside for me. I'm glad, because the thing's up to like $25 already. So, anyways, grab that. It's a low print run. It's a cool story. I grabbed Hot Lunch Special. I showed the cover A, but I didn't get the cover B. I had it on order at my other shop, so I grabbed those today. I'm glad I got this one. I think this one's going to do well, so looking forward to that. It's a good story. I read that. It's kind of a mafia type storyline. That's pretty cool. Picked up my Relay #2, which I didn't get last week, so I grabbed that. And Daredevil 606. And right on the last page, I mentioned this in my my video last week, that Mike Murphy shows up right at the end of the book and introduces himself, or sorry, Mike Murdock introduces himself to Daredevil. So, and that was his brother at one time, so we'll have to see if it's really him or what the heck's going on, but it's kind of interesting. See where that story goes. So that is it for, oh sorry, no, I got a couple more here. Hang on one sec. Gotta throw this back in the bag. So that's Daredevil. And two that I ordered online a while ago. I mentioned this to a lot of people. I got my, finally showed up the other day. My Amazing Spider-Man #2, those limited variants with that cool new villain on there. hopefully he has some roles to play in the future. It looks, that's an awesome cover. Love that cover. And as you all know, I talked about Doctor Strange 44 a while ago. They finally showed up this week. I got 2 copies. And one of them is going to, I'm shipping one off to Mark Anthony Martinez. He's the one who asked Donny Cates the question about Sidorak in that interview. And I kind of feel he deserves a copy, so I'm sending him a copy. So anyways, that was a great question. I talked to him briefly, and he's like, man, I can't believe I had that much influence on the comic community. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you did. That was a great question. So anyways, good for him for asking him. That was an awesome question. So this week's book for my independents, I got Volition #1 from Aftershock. I've recommended it a few times. I highly suggest if anytime Aftershock puts out new comics, you take a look at them, because there are some really good stuff coming out from them. And the artwork in this is really good. I took a flip through it. I haven't read it yet, but man, it looks pretty cool. I mentioned this one, Crowded #1, cover A and cover B for that. That's been optioned already. Whether or not it actually goes anywhere or anything happens with it, still a good one. If you can get it at cover price, highly recommend you pick them up. Now this series, holy cow, if you are not reading Magic Order, I highly suggest you do. It is really good. That's cover A. Cover B is just a black and white of cover A. And then the third cover's, you've got the Venetian. And one of my subscribers asked me a question, and I have to say it because I laughed so hard. I'm sorry I forget your name. But he said, if the Venetian loses his eyesight, would he be called the Venetian blind? I'm sorry, it's late at night. I thought that was really funny. I laughed pretty hard when I heard that. Anyways, I got to show you an image in here. If you haven't read Magic Order, turn it off, because I am going to show you an image. So like I mentioned before, this is kind of like an adult Harry Potter. And this Madame Albany and the Venetian is basically her killer, going around killing off all the good wizards and stuff. And so she's trying to take over. And right at the end, I'm just going to show you this, because if you haven't read it, turn it off. But the Venetian gets into this battle with one of the main characters and just destroy it, like basically rips them to shreds. You got body parts and guts everywhere. Like, this is if you like violent comics in the Magic world, I can't wait for this TV show. If any of you have got Netflix, or if you're thinking about getting Netflix, man, get it when this comes out, because this is going to be really good. If it's anything like the comic, which I'm sure it is, because the comic is kind of written for the TV, so man, that is going to be really, really good. Highly suggest you get that one. I picked up Archie Meets Batman. I only got the one cover. I wanted another one that I showed in my video. They didn't have it, so I got the Joker one. I got Dayglow A-Hole #2, and man, this is a thick book. The first one was kind of, it's the artwork's different in it, and you have to give it a bit to soak into your brain, but it's pretty good. This one here, Gideon Falls, I mean, I don't know what to tell you about this one. This is an awesome series, and it is dark, and I haven't read it yet. I'm looking for that. That one's going to be tomorrow when I have some time. But man, I recommend this series. Well, I recommend it right from the beginning, so really good one. Another good one, Analog #5 was out. Got 2 covers for that one from Image. Really good series. And last one I got was Ice Cream Man. Oh man, I got a crease in my cover there. That's no good. Both covers there again. Another really good, another good series from Image. So there's some good independent stuff coming out. Boy, the independent stuff has really stepped up their game the last few years. They are putting out some really good stuff. And again, like I say, I really hope some of you are taking a look at it, because it's definitely worth it. And it's funny, because a lot of the independent stuff is getting picked up for shows more than the mainline stuff. So from DC, I got Justice versus Masters of the Universe #2. I like the first one, so I grabbed cover A for that. Justice League #6 was out. I got cover A, and a really nice Jim Lee cover. I got 2 copies of that one. I like that. I like Jim Lee's artwork, as a lot of you probably do. And this story is pretty good in this, actually. It's got a kind of a twist in this one, which I'm not going to give away, but recommend you read it if you're a Justice League fan. Picked up Pearl #1. I got the cover A and the cover B. I did not get the blank cover. My shop didn't have that one actually, so I didn't even have an option, but those are the two I wanted anyways. So, and I'm sure a lot of you are looking for this one. I got Sink Atlantis Part 2. I grabbed Part 1 the other week. So that's cover A, and then I got 2 of the cover B. And one of those is for my good friend Gino Bonino, who I owe a few comics to. So I'm sending him one of those. Got them both for cover price, which was awesome. And I also got the Batgirl 25. And again, one of those is for Gino because I owe him some comics. So I've also got a bunch of comics going to Boom Boom pretty quick here. I got to mail them all out. Mail them out this week. So anyways, there you go, folks. Those are my DC comics. And if you can get this Aquaman 39 cover B, I highly recommend it. You know, man, I've been going to a few, I'm not going to get into a rant on shops, but some shop, all I'm going to say is some shops are gouging people and charging way over cover price for these, which I don't like. You know, if you're going to, I try to give shout outs to shops because a lot of them are really good, so I'm not trying to paint all the shops with the same brush. But there are some who will, you know, you can go in and buy $100 worth, $200 worth of books every week regularly, and as soon as a book comes out that is hot, they try to gouge you, whether you're a regular customer or not. And that, man, does that piss me off when they do that. So anyways, that is a good one to get if you can get it. Try to only get it for cover. I mean, I don't think that's going to do what Batgirl 23 did, just because all the shops nowadays, well, I shouldn't say that. Aquaman 39 might do okay. Batgirl 25 was ordered like by the boatload, so we'll see. From Marvel, I grabbed one reprint this week. I got Infinity Wars Prime #1. Cool looking cover with Thanos getting the sword right through his chest. That's man, that was a good book too. Anyways, we'll get into the rest of the stuff here. Some good books again, man. There's some good stuff out this week. Astonishing X-Men Annual #1. I just really like the cover. I'm not an Iceman fan, but I thought the cover looked pretty cool. One I wasn't going to get, but it was sitting there staring at me right in the face, so I picked up Star Wars Beckett #1 with, what the heck's his name? I forget his name. I know I'm having a brain fart here. Woody Harrelson, that's who I'm thinking of. Spider-Geddon #1, you got cover A and cover B for that. And there is a first appearance in here. I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a big first appearance, but so Kang the Conqueror now becomes, I'm showing images by the way. Yes, I should give you a bit of a warning. Becomes Kang the Conglomerator. So, I mean, I could say, I don't know how big a deal that is, but thought I'd point that out since he is in there. I got this Weapon H #6, which is a, man, I like this cover. This is one of my picks for covers of the week last week, along with those Aquaman and Batgirl. That's a wicked cover with Weapon H coming down on Captain America's shield with his claws. That is just a cool looking cover. And then you get the variant. You get a J. Scott Campbell, regular price J. Scott Campbell variant for the variant for that. So that's awesome too. I mean, both covers for that book are great. And that series is way better than Damage. I don't know. It's too bad about... I hear now that... I think I mentioned that all those New Age of Heroes are getting canceled, which really suck because I liked a few of them. But anyways... got Extermination #1. I got cover A. There's a few covers for this one. I picked up cover A, and then I picked up, what is that one? Cover B by the looks of it. That's a Cable cover. And if you haven't read this one, again, I'm going to show some images in here, so turn it off if you don't want to know. Because in the beginning of this story, it's pretty good, actually. Didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, but there's this hooded figure kind of shows up, and all these people are dead, and he goes around killing people. And right at the end of the book, he goes and gets into a fight with Cable. And where the hell is it? Just got to find it. Give me 1 second, guys and girls. Oh yeah, there you go. So he's basically blasting Cable and kills him, and then right at the end, you learn who it is, and it's Cable, but it's a different version of Cable, a younger version, and even the arm is not all mangled and stuff, so I don't know, we'll have to see where that goes. Not technically a first appearance, but definitely a different version of Cable showing up, so that's kind of cool. Again, like I say, I don't know what's happening, if if there's something that's going to stick around or if it's just going to be for the storyline and then, you know, go through time and get it all straightened out. We'll have to see. Another good one out this week was Thor #4. I'm slowly getting to my head around this artwork. I'm starting to really like the artwork. It took me the first few issues. I was like, man, I don't know if I can handle that, but there's a Fantastic Four variant for that. And I got to show you something in here too. So again, turn it off if you don't want to know. But in here, there's this big battle going on, and Hela's crown gets knocked off. So Thor picks up the crown and puts it on. And then he becomes, he says, and for a brief dark moment, I am Thor, king of hell. So that's a cool looking pose, and even his hammer's all on fire and everything. So technically, that's kind of a first appearance of him being Thor, king of hell. At least I think it is. If I'm wrong, let me know. But pretty sure it's cool. And then, you know, it's only like that for a few pages, and then, you know, she takes it back from him and says, "Give me my crown back," and puts it back on. So, but that's pretty cool. I like that image when I saw that. That was wicked. Love that. And then this one was one of my picks of the week, was Weapon X #22. You got your whole new Weapon X-Force team showing up. You got Sabretooth, you got Mega Red, you got Domino, Mystique, and Lady Deathstrike. So you got a whole new team. Sabretooth is leading it now, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, just got to get these out of here for a sec. Getting pretty stacked. So yeah, that's a good one to get. I don't know how far that team is going to go, but hey, anytime you get a new team, you got to pick that up. So, and you know, this is obviously my pick of the week. This week is Infinity Wars #2. I got the regular cover, and I'm sure a lot of you are aware of this by now. There's your cover A. That was my pick of the week for the cover, or one of my picks. Gorgeous cover. You got Requiem in the background with her hand over there, obviously. And I'm sure you're all aware that there was the unannounced variant cover with Gamora without the mask on. And I believe it's a 1 for 10. So a lot of shops didn't even know this was coming out. And if you can get a hold of that, try to get it. Don't overpay for it. Again, some shops are going full-on retard and charging people an arm and a leg for stuff. And, you know, I understand they have to make a living. But, you know what, don't gouge your regular customers, for Christ's sakes. Anyways, going on a bit of a rant here. Cover 2, I got that one, and I got the third cover as well. I also picked up the Putri variant. I know a lot of people weren't, I really like that one. I think it's a gorgeous cover. I love that cover, so glad I got that one. That's a 1 for 25, so if you can find that one, grab that one too. And in here, I got to show you, so I got one more thing. I'm gonna give you another image in here, and it is it's pretty cool. This whole story is really, really good. So, you know, there's all these Infinity Warp mashups coming, and right at the end, or near the end of this book, you've got Captain America and Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel, and they're all standing there, and Gamora stabs, I don't know if you noticed it, but Gamora stabs Doctor Strange and Captain America. They kind of get, it's almost like they become one. And in the next issue, you're supposed to get your preview of Soldier Supreme, who is Captain America and Doctor Strange combined. So I don't know if at this moment right here in the book, if that's technically going to be where how they become, if they get joined, because she stabs him with the sword, which I believe is the Power Stone on it. But at that point, I believe she has all the stones. Or no, she doesn't have all the stones. No, she gets all the stones a little bit later. But I don't know, somehow with her getting all the stones, that allows the people to get merged together. But yeah, I don't know. It's really good though, man. Whatever stuff that's happened. I mentioned this before. Whatever happens in this book is going to have ramifications for years to come. So, highly recommend you get that. Anyways, that's it for this week. One book I didn't. I've got on order, but it hasn't come in yet. Is the Rejected #1 from Source Point Press. That was another one of my picks, and man, oh man, I highly recommend you get that one. The print run on that is super low. And that character, Mr. Teeth, he reminds me so much of Slender Man, who started out as a meme on the internet, by the way, so you have no idea where that's going to go. If you can get that for cover price, highly recommend it. A few things coming down the road. It was just announced today or yesterday that Mark Millar and Netflix are combining again for another one of these comic book, kind of like Magic Order. It's called Prodigy. Raphael Albuquerque is going to be the artist, who's a really good artist. And that comes out December 5th, so that looks like a really good series. I'd recommend that one. Fantastic Four, issue number 4 is going to introduce a new supergroup called the Fantastics. We're basically rivals to the Fantastic Four, so we'll have to see where that goes. And that comes out November 28th. Kind of looks interesting. I'll have to give Dan Slott a few issues before I completely pull the plug on that. One that I mentioned before, and man, I'm looking forward to this one. It's Mars Attacks by Dynamite Comics. Comes out in October. There's a whole bunch of covers. I got a couple on the screen there for you to look at. That looks really good. I love the Martians in that one. That was a funny show. And Venom First Host, a new character is being introduced, Telcar. That comes out in a couple weeks, August 29th. So make sure you pick that one up when it comes out. Now, Heroes in Crisis number 1. I don't know. Tom King is writing this, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go. I might buy one copy. But the cool thing for this is, I mean, somebody's supposed to die in this. I think 2 people are supposed to die. But the cover of the next DC Nation, their free comic book, which is one of these things here. They're free if you get, like, pick them up if you can. That's issue 2. There's 3 is out now. 4 comes out in a little bit. But on the cover of that, it shows a whole bunch of, actually maybe 4 is out now. I don't know. Anyways, it shows a bunch of the DC characters, and you know, it says right on the sentence is who will die. So one of them will die. It says one of the people on the cover will die, and I am hoping Booster Gold is on there. So I'm really hoping it's Booster Gold. I know I'm going to get some emails or some messages. What's all the hate on Booster Gold? I don't know. I don't like him. So Venom number 3, or Venom 3 third print. Oh boy, does that look good. That comes out, if you are not getting the second and third prints from your shops for Venom, boy, I highly recommend it, because they're low print runs. They're really low, and they're all images from inside the book. And the third print, which you see on the screen, is that splash page at the end of it, number 3, where it's got Noel sitting in his chair. Oh boy, I can't wait for that one. That looks awesome. And just to let you know that Venom 5, that scan variant, has been available for order since Saturday. So if you are interested in that, order that up. You can get it a number of places: Sad Lemon Comics, Frankie's Comics, wherever. And if you watched my video earlier today, I mentioned that book, The Carnage Mind Bomb, was a really good one to get. And the reason for that was this Web of Venom Carnage Born is coming out in November. It's a one-shot written by Donny Cates, and art is by Danilo Baruth. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So I talked about Mind Bomb. So if you haven't watched my video, go watch it. You'll understand why it's important. But as far as this Web of Venom goes, I have to read a paragraph from Donny Cates about this, because man, get this one on your pull list. I can't stress it enough. Because this is what Kate says. He says, "Oh, it's huge," he told, regarding the significance of the one-shot. "I know we were supposed to say that, but hopefully fans and retailers both know by now that I don't just say that stuff. If I tell you something is going to be big, I mean it. And as far as my Venom run is concerned, this is a huge issue," and that's all capitalized. "For fans and collectors alike, this is a big, big moment in the history of Carnage and Venom himself. This is the first chapter in something very, very big. Be sure to be there when it all comes down in Carnage Born." So boy, if you're a Venom fan, Carnage fan, and you like Donny Cates, if you don't like Donny Cates, well, I feel sorry for you, but boy, get that book on your pull list. I cannot stress that one enough. So anyways, that's it for this week, folks. Take care. Talk to you on the weekend with my top picks video. Bye for now.